Do you know the feeling of feeling overwhelmed to the point that it's almost dramatic? Well, in this video, I'm going to talk about clairsentience. Hello, and a very warm welcome again to this series, the Six Clairs Journey, where I talk about the six clairs, our intuitive gifts, the powers we inherited from the higher realms. And today I'm talking about clairsentience, which is at the center of your plexus solaris, right at your stomach. And this clair is found by most of us sensitive starseeds and lightworkers because we are so sensitive. And it really has like an expression within food, within tolerance of energies of other people. Sound is very much like almost a distortion, which is very um, which can be really draining. And if you're sensitive, it's really like you're not able to handle a lot of different energies and sounds and emotions and things like that. So I'm also going to talk about how you know that you are clairsentient, and also what can you do to really tone your sensitivity a bit, right? Because of course it's good to being sentient, so you feel a lot and you just intuitively know what's going on. On the other hand, a lot of starseeds and light workers notice that they are oversensitive. It's too much. And also they experience that they're out of control because it's really like draining on them, and they have no saying in how to perceive it and for how long. And they are really sometimes struggling with keeping boundaries and keeping a balance in the sensitivity, right? So perhaps you recognize this as well. Well, first let me say that your clairsentience is a feeling, and we have the saying like something is in your gut feeling, but actually the clairsentience is a little bit higher, like your plexus solaris height, right? It's like your stomach, where your stomach is lying, and it's right, it's above your navel, and your third chakra, your plexus solaris, is centered in this area. And it's also almost funny because your plexus solaris is all about your own power, right? About your sovereignty, about standing in your strength. And it's also a center which is really externally based, right? So it's also a masculine energy because it's all about action and about doing. Whereas clairsentience can really be perceived as a feminine energy. And there are, of course, a lot of women who are sensitive, but also, of course, men. And sometimes you just know something is off, right? For example, you enter a space, maybe a coffee shop, you have a drink, and then before you have a look around and you sense who is in the room, you sense like, it's almost like the vibe, the energy and the atmosphere is doing something to you. And a lot of the times we perceive negative energies from being sensitive. And sometimes it's very challenging to deal with sensitivity because we encounter on a daily basis other people, other places, and a lot of people who are sensitive have the tendency to almost lock themselves up, to don't go out as often as they would have liked, or even doing some groceries or otherwise shopping is almost a task, right? Because obviously energies are like everywhere around us. And people can also be very sensitive for the unseen energies like Wi-Fi, or and these energies are around us. So it's also a matter with knowing how to deal with these energies. So learning how to say no and being sensitive is something that really goes hand in hand. So I will give you another example of being clairsentient. And if you don't have made the intention, the statement of protecting your own space and your own boundaries, it's really something that you can think about at forehand, right? So, for example, this coworker of yours, you go to the office and she asks you, "Are we going out this Friday or this weekend?" And if you have to think about the answer at that specific time, you're most likely going to say yes if you feel no, because clairsentience is all about feeling, right? So if at forehand you decided that you will protect your boundaries, then it wouldn't come as a surprise and you would just have no problem with saying no. You know, if you say yes to someone else while you feel no inside, then you actually saying no to yourself. And this is really a thing we have to learn, because if you keep doing that in the long run, it's going to really backfire at you, because we truly have to honor ourselves, have to honor our feelings, have to respect them, and have to be gentle with ourselves, to give ourselves some grace. And because a lot of us want to be liked, right? So if someone steps over your boundaries, because most of us want to be liked, right? So we tend to say yes to everything. But some people are really taking advantage of that. And instead of seeing yourself as a victim, like, oh, what's happening to me? I'm always attracting the wrong people, and I'm always so lovely to everyone. And what about me? Well, the only person who can take care of yourself is you, right? So if you know at forehand that you will respect your boundaries, say no to a Friday night going out, and you're okay with the disappointment with the other person, then you're totally good for yourself, right? And this is the thing. We have to take proactive steps to really take good care of ourselves. Because one thing that sensitive people need is a lot of rest and a lot of like yin energy and a lot of me time. So to really recharge and regain energy and really to let everything flow again, and spending time in nature is very, very helpful to do as well, because nature by default is very high in vibration, due to the spirits, of course, the divas and the other natural spirits, and the plants in and out of itself, and mountains and water. It's very high vibe. So when you are tense and you're experiencing anxiety, then going out to nature is a very good way to really de-stress and to really let it all off your chest and go out. So spending time alone, spending time in nature, setting boundaries, making a preset thought about how you're going to react to certain people and circumstances. This all helps to really um, experience your sensitivity in a more positive way instead of a negative way. And also, another thing to do is really shake it off, literally. You know, in ancient Asian cultures and expressions, also with qigong and tai chi and yoga, you can really shake it off, literally. So that's a very good way to do as well, because I think it's a waste if you are sensitive, if you are starseed, and if you would like shut off completely because you experience all the sensitivity as being negative. Because if you shut off, you most likely won't get all the energies inside. However, you are not perceiving the positive energies as well. So that would be a waste, right? Because we were all gifted with these gifts. And also, if you like fight against it, the harder you push back, and you will then see that the loud noise is getting louder and louder, because it really wants your attention, because your clairsentience is talking to you in a very subtle way and very soft, however very noticeable, right? So if you would like accept it and fully embrace it, but also set your boundaries, then you are totally okay, and then you can grow in your sensitivity. And for me, I give you an example from my own sensitivity. I'm very sensitive for noises, right? So if I live in a place where my surrounding is constantly with bleepings of iPhones and iPads and all the sounds, I'm getting crazy, right? I perceive it very loud. So for me, it's very wise when I, for example, go out and sleep in a hotel or somewhere else, that I put my earplugs on, because otherwise my sleep is really like disturbed by it. So it's also a matter of knowing where you're going, planning your trips, have your emergency tools with you, right? So whenever I go out, even when I go in to the supermarket or whatever, by default, I'm wearing my plugs, because sometimes noise can be very loud and you don't know where you end up. And I'm always protected in this way. So it's very good for yourself to find out where lies my sensitivity and what can I do in front beforehand to really get myself out of trouble, so to speak. So you can more enjoy your life and be more relaxed about unexpected events, right? So let's see what else is good. Well, like I said, clairsentience is really like subtle. So it's also a matter of paying attention in what kind of settings or what kind of people or situations are you more sensitive than other situations. Of course, if you take care of your body, you sleep well, you eat well, you exercise, and you keep things in balance, then you will know your sensitivity will work more for you instead of against you. So that's just a general advice to do. And it's also a matter of letting go, letting go all the controlling tendencies we have, right? Because we are so busy in the West, we like to plan our whole day and schedule our whole day. And if we just learn how to really let go a bit, then you will see that the flow is returning, right? You don't have to be on top of everything all the time. This is also creating anxiety and a lot of friction within yourself, which is really amplifying your negative experience of being sensitive. And of course, the sensitivity we use to really ignite the other clairs as well. Because if you are experiencing and trying out your different clairs, you will notice that by default you have one, two, or three clairs that are very active. And if you are paying attention to one of those clairs, you will notice that the other clairs will come active and online as well. So then you don't really only feel something, but you hear, smell, taste, know, see, and hear things all at the same time. So this is really the goal that we're heading for in the long run. And it's just a matter of practicing and noticing and keep on track with your journaling. And don't make it too complicated. Just a few minutes a day is enough to really ignite your sensitivity in a fun and good and grounded way. So if you have questions about this and how to activate your clairs, I've also put in one of the videos a guided meditation which you can do over and over again. And you will notice if you do it multiple times, your experience will vary as well, which is a good way because you are getting more and more into it. And also, if you would like to know what you can do with your sensitivity and what clairs are you specifically by default trained in other realms, we can always have a look at your Akashic records. And these are such amazing energies that will come through because it is really the book of life, right? So the higher energies, the cosmic, galactic energies, your history, your mission, your twin flame, maybe everything can come through. Your spirit guides, and it's such a place of love and wisdom and higher knowledge. It's amazing, really. So if you are resonating with that, feel free. You're welcome to book an Akashic Records reading with me, and we'll dive deeply into your own personal stuff. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions. And I would love it if you would like subscribe to my channel. And if you also have a topic which will be fun to discuss. Or if you are looking for a subject, please let me know, and maybe I will make a video about it. And I hope to see you next time.